Hello you lovely lot and welcome to another episode of Winning Ways, where we're going to be going for sort of like autumn big wobbly carps, aren't we, mate?
Yeah, definitely. We're just on the shutdown, aren't we? It's September. Yeah, just in September.
And we're getting a sneaky little practice in because we're at the beautiful Larford Lakes and it's a golden reel final next Saturday.
Yeah, 2 weeks time.
So I'm having a free lesson. I'm going to watch how the main man does it, fresh from his £60,000 grab big checker he's just won. Talk us through some of the methods then, Jay. Where are we going,
right,
mate?
what we're going to do today, we're not going to fish exactly how we'd want to fish. Do you know what I mean? Because if I'm completely honest...
I want to stick float on the river down there.
Yeah, but for this venue in particular, I'd want to start on pellet shore, as I'm sure you would on both banks. We've covered that at Western Pools.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Exactly the same thing as we did in the Western Pools thing. Yeah. That's what I do here. Bit big duck
like,
tackle.
Jamie, why aren't you feeding that line? Come on, get some bait in.
Yeah, nice. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to assume, on the short line, I'm going to do something a bit different, because here we're after... It's a much bigger stamp of fish as well. It's like these great big ones that are visiting now. Everything's £5 to £10.
Yeah.
So it's about, a lot of the fishing is about setting traps, getting a bite. Yeah, and they're very, very difficult fish to catch. These, say, back end of the year now, we're on September, like we say.
They're going to have a proper feed up soon.
But they've seen everything, haven't they, as well? Yeah, they've literally been fished for down the edge every day since April. I mean, they know intimately how to feed and avoid getting caught, which is the tricky bit.
I like that, intimacy.
First one, like I said, I want to fish method short, which are a bit different. But I've said there's its reasons for it. When the weather's wild, when I'm suffering foul lookers, when they're just being a pain.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
And it's sort of like replicating what you do in a pole anyway at the start of the match, isn't it? Fishing short. Normally you start off short and then work your way out.
Yeah, slightly different baits. It's something we used to do on this lake behind us on the big lake.
Right,
used to be my favourite thing in the world was chuck method at 5 metres, and I'd go as far to say years gone by, you were guaranteed one.
Really?
You chuck it, I'd guarantee you a proper one, 10 to 20 pounder. But they've gone now. It used to be them short meat days when there were always fish about.
Yeah.
But as long as they're fed on that short line, so there's always fish there. So it's a nice way of starting. So that's what we're going to do.
Nice.
So the first thing I want to talk about, though, before we talk about bait and what we're doing...
Jay, have you been pre-baiting because there's some bubbling coming up?
I've chucked a couple of pellets here just to try and get a quick one. But...
Don't listen to me, people.
Also, the main thing I've also done is chuck a lead in.
Right, okay. Explain why. Yeah, you've told me why.
Because we want to see what that bottom's like. The bottom lake here. So this, what we're sat on here is it's a bear, isn't it? It's been put in the middle of a lake. So what you've got is not a false bottom, but it's rubble, it's bricks, it's a hard bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what I want to find out is where the hard bottom sort of finishes and where the silt begins.
Right, okay.
Because this is the deeper side of the lake, so all the silt, I mean, the further you come over this way, it gets deeper.
And it's interesting, all you're doing basically is casting out and then you're watching that tip, aren't you? So basically if you're putting a soft tip on, if it's catching like that, then you know you're into silt. If it's coming back and you see it like bobbling and sort of like moving and bubbling, then
a nice smooth pull and you know you're on sand or silt. And as soon as you get to these stones, you just feel it rattling. You know you're on a nice firm bottom, which is where you want to be. So with a method feeder, if you can help it, you do not want to be on silt. Yeah. Because it baits in there. It's not the same. I want it on a nice solid bottom that my bait's going to do what I want it to do, so it's visible to the fish.
That's it.
Which is what we found here, and very luckily here it works out perfect. That you won't be able to see it on camera, but I've actually got the reflection of them trees, which are on the far bank. Yeah. And right on the reflection of the trees, which cuts right along the peg, that's where my mark is. That's where the silt begins.
So obviously you're not going to be clipping up at that distance.
No,
some of the bites are just ridiculous.
Far too risky to clip up. If I clip up, I'm just going to get snapped.
Right, talk us through where you're rigging everything then, Jay. Main line and
dead simple
rod and everything.
So we've got a little ditty 10-foot rod, something nice and soft.
Yeah, nice.
Because I want it to be able to bend. They're gonna pull proper really hard, and the bites are going to be savage more than anything else. So I want a nice soft rod that they're going to be able to pull. Yeah. I've got 6 mile line on because that's what I use for pretty much everything other than waggler fishing. Okay. Because it's nice, it doesn't catch in the toe too much, just nice and durable, doesn't mess about.
Wow, I thought you fell in then, Rich. That was a bit big.
And for today, I've got a decent sized feeder.
Okay, what's that, 30 grams?
I've come with a 32 gram, a medium flat feeder that we do. Yeah. Which I'm not a fan anymore of method feeders because I don't like how method feeders, I've talked about this before on one of these. I don't like how they break down to a big footprint and the fish can feed all over them. I'd much prefer with a flat feeder type thing, it keeps my bait in.
So like a hybrid kind of thing?
That sort of thing. You know what I mean? There's so many feeders available now, but...
So fish is physically got to come in over the top and take your bait?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to hold it. All my bait's going to be within that little pile pretty much, other than the odds and sods. Yeah. So a fish is going to... Do you know what I mean? Because what I don't want it to do is I don't want it to be a great big pile, sort of like this. Yeah. Like a meth feeder. I do. Where it can feed at different points.
And obviously if a fish takes off, that's getting blown all over the place.
It messes, yeah. So a fish, if my bait spread too much, it could come in, have it, because I don't also believe, again, something I said before, they don't stay and keep feeding. Yeah. They suck once or twice, go.
Yeah.
They don't hang about in your peg. So I want my one area of bait with my hook bait in the middle of it to get sucked and gone.
Right.
Yeah.
While we're on bait, Jay, talk us through it. I can't see any ground bait other than that bowl there.
Yeah.
Is that because you don't want to fish ground bait on a method anymore?
Yeah,
Is
just my preferred way of fishing. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Very, very rarely these days, unless little F1s are involved, I don't fish ground bait. Always micros, because I can control them. I know exactly how micros break down, or I can control them to break down how I want them to break down.
You talked about this loads, haven't you?
Of course
videos
we have.
And all that.
Ground bait makes it very tricky to control a breakdown.
Right.
I mean, because it can change so much throughout the day. Your ground bait drying off. It's a lot less consistent than pellets are.
Right. Okay.
So pellets for me. Do you know what I mean? So that we've just whacked out.
Yep. So fishery on pellets. Have you done anything to them? You put anything on them?
No, literally. So the skretting sight, which is very, very important. The fishery ones here, skretting sight. I've literally. So I couldn't show that on camera because obviously we wanted that done already.
Yeah.
I literally cover them in water, put them in a load of water, leave them for a minute maybe because it's still nice and warm. And then what I'll actually do, I'll actually scoop them out the water and I squeeze them. Do you know what I mean? I squeeze them available, get all the water out of them. You break it off,
and then
chuck it in the bowl.
And you get a load of fish in your peg.
We don't do that. Like you cupping in on that shallow. But no. Do you know what I mean?
Still doing you? You're still having nightmares about that,
isn't it? Terrified of that. And what they give me now, if you have a feel of them, they're dry but soft.
Proper.
Do you know what I mean? They're nice and sticky.
Yeah.
I am actually gonna add a tiny bit more water to them.
Nice.
But they're pretty much done. Do you know what I mean? They're a nice pellet that I can get them to break down quite quick, but I can still squeeze them as hard as I physically can, and they'll still break down into pellets.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not soft and mushy where I can mush them up. And
I think this is an area where a lot of people struggle with, isn't it? You know, if you think like I'm squeezing them too hard, they're never going to break down.
Definitely.
It's not the case, is it?
No.
They'll always break down. They'll always go back into that
right. As long as they're not too soft.
Yeah.
If they're too soft, they can go.
Spongy.
Yeah, they're a bit messy and they still blow. You want them. Do you know what I mean? You want them dry.
Yeah.
They're dry but soft. It's hard to explain, but yeah, just so I can make a nice ball, so there's no moisture whatsoever.
Yeah.
That they're just, you can make them into a nice ball they hold together. But then I've also got my little tub of water.
Right. Okay.
Just to make them a little bit.
Yeah.
So the last thing I've done to them is add a little bit of stuff on them.
Right.
I mean, I put some amino boost on just to make them different. I mean, we talked about this. It's a confidence thing.
It's confidence. If you've got confidence in something, it's going to work for you and it's going to breathe into your fishing. Obviously, fishery on pellet. If everyone's doing the same thing,
that's the thing, isn't it?
It's fishery pellets, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of a smell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, mine are different to his and they're different to his.
Definitely.
That's all I'm after. Whether it gets me a bite, who knows? But
if you get one on it, it's
not
like,
get me a bite.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course it is. You know, I'm definitely getting a massive believer in them. So I'm happy with the way that they go. They're
so
nice
we're starting off on a method. We're going on to the bomb after that. What are you going to be sort of feeding over? Are you going to be feeding whilst you're on the method, or what?
No, I'm going to leave that all together. But we'll talk about that in a bit. I'm going to leave the bomb. Nothing gets fed out there until we're on the method, but we'll have a chat about that in a bit. So next thing I'm going to go is just make sure my pellets are right. So say they've just dried a little bit. So I've got a little bit of that stuff in my water. Yeah. All I'm going to do literally is a scoop of water like that. I mean, hardly anything. Transfer and I don't even do them all. I just do the ones that I'm going to use. You know what I mean? I just do the top of my tub. Yeah. Because they're the ones that are going to go on my feeder. Give it another little one. So it's hardly any. I mean, I'm just stirring them top ones, and that gives me now they're wet, but they're not. They're still
you should
not
be
nasty.
On a cookery programme. Lovely,
you know
isn't it? Proper, mate. Proper.
Get whisk out.
Hook length, mate. That's a short hook length, actually.
Yeah, little diddy.
You've not told me about them before.
I want the littlest hook length that they allow. So here we've got to go with quite a short, quite a long one. But if I'm allowed, I'll put a 2-inch on. Do you know what I mean? Little tiny, the smallest hook length possible, because I want them to go down, pick it up, and instantly I want them in.
Just hook it.
Yeah, but I think again it's a bit of a confidence thing. Yeah, because I know a few people who've gelled that. It really likes a big long one. He likes a 6 and 8 inch hook length.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we all like different things, but for me, I like them picking up. I don't like feeling like one's had it.
Yeah, it's sucked it in. It's feeling that method, so it's going to bolt off.
Instantly, it's in that gob. Yeah, but how you loading it? That's the next thing I want to talk about. It's the way you load your feeder. It's everything, honestly, in making sure, so I keep reiterating myself, it's making sure
you just come back, plug it, and then that's it.
Just
is that not one of them? Is that not it now?
Never, ever, ever, you know that. But it's about making sure that one fish gets hooked.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, it's small differences in every little improvement you can make in your rig.
So do you think the diameter of this bit matters then, obviously hook length?
Yeah, I think that just needs to be durable for what you're catching.
Right, okay, so
you
like
in
18
that case,
minimum, 20, 22.
I've actually gone out 17 in that.
Oh, right, okay. It's got to be different again, hasn't it?
It's well, yeah, I'll either 0.16.5 or I'll go 0.18.5.
Right, okay.
I mean, they're me two.
Yeah,
so we've gone a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
But so we've got a decent hook on. I've got a big size 16 hook.
Yes, mate.
So I've got a big lump of metal, but how I want to load it. So it's something I've talked about with pellet feeders before now.
And obviously, like bait choices, it's not irrelevant, but it's what you got confidence in.
It's all up to you. All I'm going to put on is an 8mm pellet.
Yeah.
Yeah, one single 8mm pellet, because I'm being a bit selective to begin with. I want to catch a proper fish.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to put my first layer on.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really tight. Yeah, but I'm not going to exceed the sides of the feeder. Yeah, so that goes in as tight as I can possibly get it.
Yeah,
really, really put it on. There's no way that's coming off.
No.
No matter how nasty it is. I'm not even casting, I'm only plopping. Next thing, I just want to put my thumb in my feeder, give it a tiny little indentation there.
Yeah.
And now I want to lay my pellet that way. Give it a tiny little push and put it there so my hook's facing up. Because you can imagine now the fish coming in, yeah, it picks that up and the first thing it's going to do, that's going to go right into the middle of the bottom lip, which is the optimum place. It's just a little thing.
Mine would literally just be like squash, bait in, squash, douche, out.
Put it in. It's got to be right. Yeah, it's got to sit nice and perfect. And an 8mm presented in that way on a band allows me to do that beautifully.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, if I were to use a wafter or a boilie, a dumbbell type, I wouldn't actually spike it long ways, like you conventionally would. I'd actually spike it sideways.
Side, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Right. So it allows that T sort of thing to happen.
Yeah,
just so they're coming right in, homing in on it, and I get a bite a bit quicker. So I'm dead happy with that. Now I'm just going to go really gently over the top of it.
So a little soft one. So that's in effect, as soon as it hits the bottom, that's going to start breaking off.
Quite quick. I mean, it's harder than you think. Do you know what I mean? It's not really soft. It's still got a bit to it.
Yeah.
But it's going to make sure I get down there.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to get down on the
bottom.
bottom.
So is that obviously, it's going to present your hook bait how you want it. That's why you put that layer on.
Yeah, but that's going to break down slightly around, so I'm going to get a tiny bit around my feeder.
Yeah.
But the vast majority, 90% of the pellets are going to be within the feeder.
Right.
And my little parcel's right on the top. Yeah. And I've got a big, heavy, dense pellet that doesn't pop off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want it to stay right on top of my pile. I don't want to use a wafter or anything in this case because I don't want my bait to come away from my pile.
Yeah.
I want it right on top of that pile so the fish comes in. And so I've proved this before in an old video that with a method feeder,
you don't need a bait on.
You don't need a bait on. As long as it's presented right, they're taking it almost by accident. So they're coming in that big lump, take it, and you get your bite.
It's like pace, it's like pace fishing, isn't it, Jay?
And it's exactly the same sort of thing.
Mate.
But yeah, keeps it nice and simple. So,
I like that. It's neat, that.
Ready to go.
Nothing what mine looks like that, Jay, whatsoever. I've got pellets all over the place.
He's all good to go. So first thing I want to do is I've fed a couple of 6mm. Not many. I threw, do you know what I mean, 2 lots of 6.
Yeah.
I've been throwing hardly any, and I've just been underarming in there just to get a couple in the vicinity.
And that's all he's feeding.
Yeah, tiny little bit. It's the same as I'd like to do on the pole. Right, and then literally that's all he's going.
Nice, mate, nice.
So he's right on top. That's landed with a nice dunk.
Yeah, that's
it's not landed in the soft, nasty bit. And I'm also going to really let that drag off.
Right, because the bites are silly.
The bites could be a little bit silly, but what I don't want to do, because I'm fishing so close, is tighten up too much.
Right, nice. Is that because you think fish are coming in, they'll spook off the tightness of the line and all that, Jay?
Definitely.
And obviously soft tip makes a difference as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, really. Everything's as delicate as it can possibly be. So I think I've got an ounce and a half in that. You see, my line's actually slack.
Yeah, proper slack line.
But only just slack. Do you know what I mean? It only takes half a turn and I'm tight again.
Yeah.
But to begin with, it's nice and slack. Because what I want it to do is just sink a little bit slower in the water.
Yeah.
So almost put it on the back, on the bottom. I don't want to put a back shot on because I'm not allowed. It's got to be inline.
Yeah.
So I can't put a stop on. So just by slackening off as much as I possibly can, it's just going to stop that really tight line down to my feeder. Because I'm so close, it'd be a really nasty angle if I were to leave it really tight.
Yeah.
So I actually want to let a bit of tow, let a bit of wind help, and actually put a bit of a curve, put a bit of line on the bottom. I'll just get it out of the way.
And what about frequency of casting, Jay? What are you saying?
Depends
4 or 5 minutes? Or
if
you're getting liners, you're going to leave it a little bit longer? Or?
Yeah, I suppose. But once we're in, it is no different to starting short on that pole.
Right.
As in, you plop it in and you watch around you and see what's happening.
Right.
And say, we've got me spot. I know where I'm fishing. I'm marked up with the same bloke. I can see my reflection in the water. Everything's nice.
Yeah.
So if I need to, if I'm not getting any indications whatsoever, I can feed some bait. Do you know what I mean? I can still make that noise with the pellets.
You wouldn't be putting bait over the top now?
No, not at all. Cause exactly the same sort of thinking as with a pole.
Yeah.
If I were to feed over the top now, all I've got is my bait on the bottom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's impossible for me to present a bait in any way through the water because, do you know what I mean? I've got a house brick on the end that's sinking a million miles an hour. So the last thing I want to do is once the fish are present in my peg is to confuse them by giving them more bait.
Right, get you.
Yeah. So it's the only time I'm going to feed is either when my feeder's out the water.
He's on!
Yeah, it's either when feeder's out water.
Yeah.
Or...
Are you not going to get some bait now, Jay?
Not yet, no, I don't know what's going on.
Mate. Double handful, go on.
I want to see what's going on first before I put it in. And we need a landing net. Go and get landing net from back there.
Have we not got the landing net? Mate.
We've
come on, I'll be your gilly today, Jay. Don't you worry, mate. I'll gilly for you. He's on. Come on, mate. Here we are.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
There we go. Mind me when you hook it. Mind me when you net it, mate. I hope you're putting this out after the Golden Reel final, Rich. Don't want to give away all our tips and secrets.
How much have they grown?
What is that, an F1?
That's an F1, but
Go on,
not
mate.
an old F1. That's a...
Is that from last year?
That's from last
year.
year.
They were like that big last year.
Well, it's because they get fed 27 kilo of ground bait a day, isn't it?
Mate, that might be worth catching.
That's seriously stacked on some beef, that, ain't it, compared to what we were...
Go on, mate.
We were catching.
Definitely. Quick as well. That was in what, 2.5 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, if that, nice quick bite. So I'll tell you what I didn't look at, and dead interesting. I look at that.
So that's still.
It's still that over the top of me. Oh, that's a good thing. It's what we want. Yeah, it means I was always fishing over my pile.
So that's it. So it's sticking on.
Yeah, not a bad thing. That's a tiny bit of bait's gone into my peg. Do you know what I mean? And it's not spread bait all over my peg, and it's left my pile right over the top of that, and one's had it. Do you know what I mean? Really, really not a bad thing for a second. That.
What would you do with that? Leave it on?
I'll whiz it off. Yeah, I'll whiz it,
and then do it again. Right.
I'll just gorge and give it a.
Yeah, I like that.
So if I leave it, it could be a bit too stodgy. I mean, get rid of that so he's nice and clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got.
Same thing
I'm
again.
happy with that.
So is that almost what you're looking for then?
Not far off.
It's not been in that long.
Yeah, what was that? It was in. You give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes.
If that. All. So the top's well broken down.
Right.
But the bottom's going to take sort of, or that was nearly going then. It's going to take sort of 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, made up with that. Absolutely, it's perfect.
That's quick.
Nice and hard.
I mean, you might not have got that presentation either on a float, would you, today? You know what I mean?
No, now it's pulling through, isn't it? There's no way I can set that little trap. And what you get here as well is there's lots of bricks and random things like that.
Yeah.
So if it does start pulling through a little bit, it's really hard. You often get,
you
know what I mean, a bit snagged, or not snagged, but it catches a lot. So just so I can see me mark.
I love these 3 lessons, people. Amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Again, straight on it.
Same place. So let it sink on a nice slack line.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pull that any closer towards me.
You're not putting any bait in on the bomb line yet, Jay?
No, none.
What about down the edge?
Leave it. No, none.
No more baits over that?
Not feeding nothing.
It's right though, it's amazing for you to see, isn't it, as well, folks, obviously, the difference in us both. Obviously, the last one we did at Cudmore, I'm all about, go and get it in, that's probably why I never do anything to be fair. But everyone's got their own style, haven't they, Jay, and that's the beauty of fishing.
Yeah.
But this I can completely understand where you're coming from. You're waiting for that fish to come in, see your bait, that's it, nailed it.
Yes, I'm making it.
Any other options, has it?
Yeah, I've got to have realistic expectations of how the peg's going to be as well. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to make it, throw loads of bait and make it solid, because in reality, when we look at it, this short line, if you can catch 15 to 20 pound on it in the first hour, that's mega.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A really, really
it's almost
good start.
Style of fishing, isn't it?
Of course it is. So the last thing I want to do is throw loads of bait, and do you know what I mean? The small percentage of fish there might only be 10 fish that visit.
Yeah.
I don't want to spread them over a great big area like this with no homing in point. And make it, get me excited then, and make it difficult to catch them.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to get every fish that comes from my peg, I want it in there.
Yeah.
I mean, until I feel that it's sort of slowing down a bit, and that comes back to the feeding of the bomb as well. I mean, despite them being potentially that's 5 metres, I'm going to feed 25 metres, so 20 plus metres apart potentially, I still feel it'll affect fish on that line. Yeah.
What's your way of thinking of everyone else is doing it though, and like you've not been there, they're potentially getting the fish?
Depends on proximity of how close people are. But you've got a lot of room here. Do you know what I mean? You can have either peg, every other peg. There's a fish in my peg now. So we've got every other peg. There's still going to be a massive amount of fish that I've got, do you know what I mean, just in front of me that aren't swimming about. I mean, I think you've got to forget about the old days of, I mean, putting beds of bait in and attracting fish over it. It doesn't exist, does it?
Badoosh, come on, have it.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
Last resort is hoiking it in.
Not. As you said it a lot, the fish are already there. You know, these waters are stocked so heavily, aren't they?
Yeah.
The fish are already in front of you.
It is.
I mean, look at them fishing there. It's what you're doing with the bait.
Yeah, so if anything, doing feeding the bait at these places when they're not ready to feeding at volumes of bait, I think it creates, you know what I mean, it puts them off.
Yeah.
I mean, especially big carp more than anything, when they don't want to feed.
Because that's generally what 78% of anglers would do. They'd be like me, feeding all the lines straight from the start.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Straight
been doing it wrong all this while, though. He's slowly learning me though, aren't you, mate?
We're getting there.
We're getting there, aren't we?
We're getting there. So I'm still happy that there's not fish in my peg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether I'd like more or not, I don't know. It depends now what everyone else was doing around me, whether I'd.
So how would it change or wouldn't it change if it was just F1s you catch on that? Would you expect carp or not? A fish is a fish.
Oh, definitely. I'm expecting a carp.
Fish,
fish is a fish as long as it's that big.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be, if it's my tips rattling all the time with little stockies.
Skimmers or whatever,
Yeah, well, I'm too selective to catch them.
Yeah.
I mean, that 8 mil.
Yeah.
I ain't going to come back with a 10-ounce skimmer unless I might get an odd one, but...
Unless it's through its back.
Yeah, definitely. But it does feel like there's a few little F1s there, doesn't it? It's rattling. There's an odd one, but because of how sticky I put my
baits on.
I know I'm fishing over something.
Love it, mate.
I mean, I'll probably give this, I can give it up to 5 minutes, and I know I'm still fishing over something. As soon as that time's exceeded, then I'll stop. Right, I've got to come back in, feed again then.
How long are you going to give it? Is it like, normally it's that hour into it, is that what you give it, or would you be looking around? Obviously you'd be looking around, wouldn't you, see what's going on?
Caught. Yeah, there's no, a short line can be a minute, or it can be 3 hours, can't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You never know. It all depends on how the match is evolving and how other people are catching.
Yeah.
That's what leads you to deciding whether you need to do anything. So
whereas me, on the other hand, folks, I'd be like, get my phone out. Jamie, is it time to go out long yet? Jamie, is it time to come on the edge yet?
Because nothing's happening. I'm just going to give it 2 lots.
Now this is
like
the
6.
interesting bit now, isn't it? I was a bit of noise going in.
Yeah, just see what impact the noise has.
Yeah.
So what I can't do and what you're limited to, because you haven't got a rig basically through the water.
Yeah, you can't see.
You don't see anywhere near as much. That's one. You are very much dictated to fish on the bottom, but
at least you know when it's going to be on. It's not going to be far looked.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a proper bite.
I love this style of it. It is a nice.
It's quite exciting, isn't it?
It is. The bites are just ridiculous, or sometimes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially when you're looking away and you look back and you're like,
I honestly don't think you get a bite when you look at it.
No.
You know what I mean?
We need like 12 flasks, don't we, with us? No pouring.
I don't like it when he does that. Don't do that, please.
You try to fish, mate. What are you in about?
I don't like him diving. I don't mind him in peg, but not diving.
Intercepting your bait on the drop?
Yes. But we'll have a look and give this 30 more seconds, if that, 20 more seconds.
Yeah.
I'm already getting itchy. Because you see that I had indications and then
all
stopped.
Of a sudden. So is that telling you that bait's come off?
Good chance.
Tell you bait away?
Yeah, good chance. It could tell me that the small fish in my peg. I mean, the only link I've got between them is watching that little bit of red at the end of my rod. That tells me
everything. We know that there, Jay. You can. Ooh, he's on!
Yeah.
Whoa.
That one pinged off.
Fell off. I thought that was an F1.
Definitely.
Without a doubt, an F1.
Little. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe not. See the big bow wave going on the peg?
No, carp that, mate. That's just like F1 scared it. You reckon carps don't come
The
off?
carp might have been in your peg. We'll see. Same again.
Is he not changing the bait?
No. Yeah, I'll change that. He's looking at
What about because obviously, how many casts would you go without experimenting with hook baits and all that, or is it just like you got so much confidence in that's what you're going to stick with?
I think it's a
nice selective.
Thing. The only thing that'll make me change bait is if I feel that I need to catch little fish. You know what I mean? If it's carp in my peg, then I'm happily sticking with a big boilie or, do you know what I mean, an 8 mil. Like I say, I believe they have it back anyway. Yeah.
Would you experiment with colours?
No.
Just
never been a fan with it.
What they see anyway, isn't it?
Of course it is. They see the lump of micros. That's what they're homing in on, isn't it?
Nice, like it. Jay, there's one to mug out there, mate. You can't mug it on that.
It's not quite a mugging rig, this, is it?
Loving it, mate.
Just passed.
Gosh, you know there's fish there because they're fizzing. You're getting it on, Rich? You're getting the jacuzzi?
So I'm hoping the fizzing, though, is on the pellets I'm throwing and not my feeder. Because I want my feeder to be on that hard bottom.
Oh, right, get you.
Yeah, fizzing's not a bad thing. I have tried to go right on where it changes. Yeah.
Well, you had a good do round before, didn't you, with it?
Yeah, we had a good feel about, didn't we?
Jay, they're swirling. Can we get shallow rig out? They're
swirling. They generally are swirling as well. That's not good for what we're trying to do, is it? But say we're not fishing in the way that we want to fish. No. We're doing, so this would be a method if we sat here and it was a hurricane.
Definitely.
And we couldn't fish pole.
Yeah.
Which so often happens. I've been here loads and the amount of times you can't hold a pole.
I think this year, more than ever, Joe, with the weather, it's just not been a proper summer out, has it? It's been
a windy August, hasn't it?
Yeah. And as I say, a lot of people have gone down this route, short method, and just general rod and line, bomb chucks and what have you.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit more fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's just brilliant, mate.
But so, I'm going to plod on with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and say that we've got no one to watch today. So there's still fishing peg, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because as long as the right fish start feeding and I start catching the right stamp of fish that I want, knowing that they're in the area, so it's a patient thing. So if I can catch 2 or 3 an hour, it's not. I'm not going to sit here and bag up.
Yeah.
They're potentially £10 a piece. These fish, they're massive, massive big things. So I only need an odd pull. I do think that might have been a carp then. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one just fell off.
It's like F1 though, wasn't it? It was like dead fast.
It was a bit rattly, wasn't it? Yeah.
So and it fell off.
And it fell off.
Carps don't really fall off, mate, do they? But I'm having it. It's mine.
But no, we'll have a look what's happening. But yeah, I'm just going to keep going through the process of when there's fish in my peg and my tip's moving.
Yeah, you leave it.
I'm going to sit on my hands.
Yeah.
When nothing's happening, I'm going to start throwing them. Because whether that made a difference then, I don't know. Because it had definitely gone.
It wasn't long after it when you fed, was it?
Yeah, definitely. They're just ringing that dinner bell, making something happen. That's also confused me a little bit, seeing the swales. So I don't know how much bait's actually getting on the bottom now when I feed.
You mean when you feed them 6
When I'm feeding 6 mils, whether that's having any attraction on the bottom.
And obviously this is where a pole rig is coming into.
Yeah, you can read so much more on a pole, can't you?
But as conditions aren't right,
yes,
what you can do is
something different. So here we go, just couple over the top.
So you can feed like proper right-handed and left-handed, you can't you? You make me sick, man. I can only do left-handed, even though I'm right-handed.
That one.
Can I have a go?
That one went down. Yeah, I'm going in a minute.
Do you want fish all over your peg?
You'll spread them everywhere.
Especially with my loose feed.
Yeah.
You're still getting inquiries, mate, aren't you?
There's still an odd one there. There's still a chance of a fish. So what I'll be looking, it's still not fast enough, but obviously I don't know. I mean, we've got chaps opposite, but not a lot's getting caught.
No.
I mean, it looks quite a moody one, doesn't it? Which is typical of Larford. It's quite slow to start quite often. Depending on what's happening around me now, maybe I'll be starting to get it itchy feeding a bomb line.
Really?
I mean, but I've tried to understand this first.
Yeah.
I mean, I've given it as long as I need to see whether I'm going to get a bite.
Yeah.
I mean, if no one was catching, I'd sit on it. Yeah, I wouldn't take a risk of feeding a bomb line if other people were doing that and catching nothing.
Right.
So it's pointless. Don't ever assume that you're going to be different to anyone else. Yeah, have a little idea. If people are catching an odd fish, you can do that.
Yeah.
But if nothing's getting caught, so just stick with what you're doing and save all your other options until the right time. You know what I mean? Time is probably the biggest decision in fishing, is doing things at the right time, isn't it? That's how it's come to now.
Definitely.
So the last thing I want to be doing.
Oh, there's an F1.
Another little F1, isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
look at him shake, he's angry, isn't he?
They're so much bigger than I expected, though. I thought they were going to be.
Well, they were like that last year, weren't they?
2 to a pound, weren't they, last year?
Mate.
Get the 010 out, and isn't it?
Oh, 10 and single sixes. What are you saying? Like looking at carp on that?
Yeah. Andy's been playing this carp now for 90
5
minutes.
hours. Oh, no, I've still got it on. No, it's interesting, that thing. You know, speaking to people, they're like just not been showing, have they?
No, not been getting caught at all, have they?
F1 master, isn't he? It's all he catches. Don't catch any carps, do you? Come on. That's good, mate.
See where he's hooked as well, right in the middle of the bottom lip.
I noticed that other one. Yeah.
Was the other one there, was it, as well? Right in the middle of the bottom?
Yeah, it was, mate.
I didn't pay attention.
Was it there? He knows, didn't you?
These little ones, they can be a bit all over the place, but when you get a proper one,
that's it. It's good.
So they will all be right in the middle, and it makes them so much easier to land. You can imagine pulling at the bottom of the lip on a big fish, it just gets them up.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're nice and rubbery, so there's much less chance of losing them as well.
So they don't fall off either, do they?
No, once they're on, they're on. So with a big proper hook as well, a big lump of metal.
Yeah.
With a bit of luck, they're going to stay there.
No, it's good, mate. And pellets.
That's just right in it. That's always just going to impale them instantly, that.
Thump. He's on, mate. Proper. You can catch on the method on the drop.
Get one on
through the pellets. Thump. Nice, mate. Nice. Still plenty of fizzings. There's still fish there, isn't there?
There's definitely still an odd and impediment. You can tell by the tip, can't you?
Yeah.
That tip's moving.
Moving all the time, mate.
Really, really regular. So you've got to have that clutch set so it.
Are you one of them as well, Jay? You believe in, like, obviously the smaller fish like the F1 skimmers will attract the bigger fish? I'm a massive believer in that, mate.
Oh yeah, you like that? I don't know.
He shot me down again, folks, hasn't he? Did you see the look he gave me then?
Yeah. On this short line, I don't know. I feel like the carp are there, then the little ones take over it. I don't know. Different every day, innit?
You make me sick, man.
Yeah. I don't think carp, honestly, big fish, like to come over amounts of bait. They come in straight, the first to have a quick look.
You think like they're that size, they've seen it all before, you know it's danger.
They know they're getting caught. As soon as you introduce an amount of bait, they know that.
Is that why I don't catch any big fish, Jay? Is that why I catch little baby ones? I put too much in.
I don't know, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's why I think it's why hard pellets are so good, because you can feed such a small amount.
Yeah.
So you never sort of create an area of peg that's dangerous, which maybe with this you do, but on the flip side, this is going to bring a lot more fish into my peg. Yeah. Because I've got micros everywhere. Yeah. I mean, a lot of micro pellets going into that peg. It builds your peg up nicely, and you're going to catch, do you know what I mean, lots of fish. That said, we've been talking about how selective we need to be. So it's not right, but on a different situation, it could be.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean, a different match, different venue.
It's just about getting bites as well, isn't it? As we've talked about, the conditions. If you can't, literally physically can't fish a pole there and hold it, then you've got to do something else as well.
Yes, we've got to plop that method in. So you just feel that it's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm presenting it right. There's an odd little...
And it's right for the size of the fish. Grab big fish, you don't always want to play them on a pole because it can be a little bit touch and go, can't it? To be honest,
they are easier to land on that rod, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
A lot easier, less chance. But no, I'm going to give this. So with the way it's behaving now, I'm going to give it another couple of minutes, and I'm going to start feeding that bottom line.
Yes, let's get on it.